Okay, one question based on averages you're talking about. I'll cover that type of question. Okay, 12 years ago, average age of a family consisting a couple was 20 years. Two children having been born, the present average age of the family remains same. If the ages of children differ by 2 years, find the present age of youngest member of the family. Youngest member of the family. Try this problem. Okay. Present 12 years ago. Okay. Now if we consider present, there are 4 people. 12 years ago, so just a couple, 2 people. So average age of 2 people then it was 20. When the present, the average is still 20. Why? Because children, their ages are less. But when you say average of 2 is 20, then sum of 2 is how much? 20 into 2, that is 40. Similarly, sum of 4, ages of all 4 people in the family is 80. Now if you consider that sum, that is original couple, then it was 40. Now it will be how much? Yes? Very simple. Oh, father's age would have increased by 12. Mother's age also would have increased by 12 years, right? 12 plus 12, 24. So if we consider sum of 2, their age will be 64, right? 12 years plus for father, 12 years plus for mother. At that time their sum was just 40. Now their sum will be 64. So if we take the difference here, what is that? 16. What is this? Sum of ages of children. Sum of ages of 2 children. It is given that the children's age differ by 2 years. 2 years. So how do you consider 16? Sum of 2 is 16. Difference of 2 is 2. Right? You don't need an algebraic expression for this. You can consider 7, 9. Youngest member's age is 7. That's the answer. Present age of youngest member of the family. Right? Let us consider some problems purely based on percentages. We have already done some problems based on percentage, but they were more relevant to mixtures kind of thing. Okay. Let us take a problem. Before changing jobs, Maria's salary was 20% more than that of Julio's salary. After changing jobs, Maria's salary reduced by 20% of her old salary, while Julio's salary remained unchanged. Which of the following statement is correct? Try this problem. Okay. Before changing jobs, Maria's salary was 20% more than that of Julio's salary. That is that of Julio's salary. So what is the difference? In percentages, you should be clear about what is reference. So Julio's old salary is a reference. If I take it as 100, Maria's old salary was 20% more than that. That is 120. What happened later? After changing jobs, Julio's salary remained unchanged. That is, Julio's new salary is as it is, while Maria's old salary has been reduced. It has been reduced by 20%. That is, old salary if it is 20, if this is reduced by 20%, so what is 20% of 120? This is Maria's new salary. Maria's new salary is 96, Julius' new salary is 100. Values are not given, but it is data is sufficient for us to compare. Values are not given, but the data is sufficient for us to compare. Julius' new salary is more than Maria's new salary. Or in other words, Maria's new salary is less than Julius' new salary. That's the answer. Okay, next question. Price of onions increased by 25%. By what percent its consumption has to be reduced so that budget for onions remains same. Try this problem. Okay, price of onions increased by 25%. By what percent its consumption has to be reduced so that the budget for onions remains same? Now, how do you consider a budget? Price per unit, or I would say price per kilo. Price per kg, number of kilos. Price per kg if it is P, number of kilos if it is K, P into K. This is budget. Okay. Now, because it is in terms of percentage, it is very easy if you consider 100 whenever you are dealing with percentages. Right? 100 for reference. Any reference value, if you take it as 100, it is easy to calculate. Okay, if the price per kilo is 100, number of kilos is also 100. Okay, this is the budget. This is old values. What about new values? Price has been increased by 25%. So this price is no more 100, it is 125, but the budget is same. We should know what is the new price, how many kilos you are going to buy. How many kilos you are going to buy now, right? Is it clear? So 25 fours are 25 fives are. So what is K? K is 80. What do you understand? K is 80. K1 is 80. What do you understand? That earlier you were buying 100 kilos, now you are going to buy only 80 kilos. So 100 to 80, it is 20% reduction, right? So therefore consumption has to be reduced by 20%. You observe that price per kg and number of kilos, they are inversely related, right? If they are inversely related, then the percentage can't be the same. You are increasing the price by 25%, then the consumption is reducing by 20%. It is not 25%, please understand. That's what I am trying to say. These two are inversely related. Now in case they are directly related, then how the problem will look like? If side of a square is increased by 10%, find the percentage increase in perimeter and area of a square. Try this problem. The problem is very easy. Perimeter is equal to 4 times side, or perimeter is directly proportional to side. Side is increasing by 10%, which implies perimeter will also increase by 10%. straightforward answer for the perimeter. That's what I mean by directly proportional. So direct relation, same percentage, whether it is increase or decrease. Inverse relation, you have to calculate and then find out. Okay, coming to area. Area is side square, right? If the side is increasing by 10%, right? Let us say A1 is old. It is directly proportional to A1 by A2, right? I would say it is equal to S1 square by S2 square. So here S1 square, it is 100 square. S2 square, it is side is increasing by 10, right? So S2 is 10% more than 100, that is S1 if you consider. So if S1 is 100, if S2 will be 110, right? Okay, 110 whole square, or A2 by A1 is 121 into 100 by 100 into 100, that is 1.21. So A2 is 1.21 times A1, or A2 is 21% more than A1. So area increases by 21%, whereas perimeter will increase by the same amount, 10%. Right? Let us try a similar problem. If radius of a circle is reduced, if radius of a circle is reduced by 10%, find the percentage reduction. Find the percentage reduction in perimeter and area. Try this problem. Now here you don't say perimeter, consider circumference. Okay. Circumference is 2 pi r, or circumference is directly proportional to r. So if radius is reducing by 10%, definitely circumference will be reducing by 10%. You can check values. You don't need to calculate. So directly proportional. Similarly, if you talk about area is pi r square. R1 it is 100, then R2 is 90 because radius is reducing by 10%. Right? So area is directly proportional to R square. Whatever is the percentage reduction in R square, this will be considered. Right? I can consider 0.9 square. Right? R2 is 0.9 times R1. That's what I'm talking about. 0.9 value here. Okay? So A2 is 0.9 times A1, right? Okay. So A2 is equal to 0.81 times A1, or area reduces to 81% of old value. So percentage reduction in area is 19%, whereas circumference is 10%. Okay. Let us consider one last problem of this variety. If length of a rectangle increases by 20% while its breadth reduces by 10%, find the percentage change in area and perimeter. You take choices as well. Try this problem, it will be very interesting. Let us take a break. After break, we'll be continuing.